Welcome back to the channel, guys. We have another tier list video coming your way today. We're going to be predicting every team's record for the 2021 season. Guys, thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this content, please hit that thumbs up, hit that red subscribe button, and turn on that bell for notifications. Let's hop into the video. Alright guys, this is the way my tier is formatted. Alright, the first tier is 14 plus wins, second one is 10 to 13 wins, third 6 to 9 wins, and then the last one is under 6 wins. Remember, there's 17 games this year. So if you can't win more than 6 games, you're a bad football team. Alright guys, right off the bat is the San Francisco 49ers. They're probably going to take a quarterback in this year's draft, but as of right now, Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be your starting quarterback if he can stay healthy. You're in a division with the Seattle Seahawks, damn good team. Los Angeles Rams, damn good team, now with Matthew Stafford quarterbacking them. And then you also got the Arizona Cardinals with Kyler Murray. It's probably the best division in football, to be honest with you. I think they're going to have a hard time competing. You're going to get up against Kyler Murray, Matthew Stafford, and Russell Wilson twice a year each. You have the weakest quarterback of the group pretty dang easily. I'm looking at 6 to 9 wins, maybe on the upper end, maybe 8 to 9 wins, but you're still only a 500 ball club. Hate me for it, but that's the way I look at the San Francisco 49ers. Alright, the Jacksonville Jaguars, it's going to be a rough year for them right off the bat. First-year head coach Urban Meyer, first-year quarterback Trevor Lawrence. It's going to be a learning experience. You're just going to be bad. It's the way it is, Jacksonville. Get over it. You're probably going to win 4 to 5 games. Oh well. Next up is the Tennessee Titans. Ryan Tannehill, one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the entire football league. Then you got Derrick Henry in the backfield. You got good weapons all over the field. A damn good defense and a damn good coach in Mike Vrabel. I'm looking at 10 to 13 wins for the Titans this year. Obviously a playoff game again, or a playoff team once again. Very good franchise, very good roster. They're going to win 10 to 13 games pretty easily. Now we got the Kansas City Chiefs. You know, maybe some people are expecting me to go 14 plus wins. I don't think they'll quite get there this year. They're in a pretty competitive division. I'm going to put them at that 10 to 13 wins for now. You know, if they win 14 plus, I won't be surprised. They got Patrick Mahomes. They got a bunch of guys. They pretty much have everyone returning. They got to figure out their offensive line. They did sign Joe Thuney to help improve that offensive line, but I think they have a few things they need to figure out yet. Now the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts is probably going to come in as your starting quarterback. He was very average last year in his few starts, but I think it's going to be a rough year for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm looking at a 5-6 win year for the Philadelphia Eagles. It's going to be rebuilding, trying to figure out their identity. The Arizona Cardinals. Now the Arizona Cardinals started out pretty hot last year. Started out the year really well and then kind of downfalled from there and struggled beating good teams and then even struggled with more average teams as well. But I think this is the year they kind of take off. And I think they're going to win 10 or 11 games, especially with the 17-game schedule. I'm looking at that 10 to 13 area for the Arizona Cardinals. Now the Atlanta Falcons, they got Matt Ryan, so they're obviously going to be competitive every time they have Matt Ryan because he's a good quarterback. But they always start out the year slow. New head coach coming into the year. They got to figure some things out. They're a 6 to 9 win football team. For the foreseeable future, in my opinion, they need to find their quarterback of the future. They need to find an identity, all right? And Todd Gurley, you know, he's a solid running back, but can the guy stay healthy? I think you need a more dynamic playmaker in the backfield. Baltimore Ravens, all right, Lamar Jackson. I think the league's figuring him out a little bit, but he's a better passer than people give him credit for. They're a 10 to 13 win ball club. The Buffalo Bills, welcome to the 14 plus win tier, first team in this tier. I just think they have everything going for them. They got Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, a good trio of running backs, added Emmanuel Sanders. Their whole defense pretty much comes back, and then they still have Cole Beasley, Gabriel Davis, and I think their offensive line is going to be better this year as well, but they have weapons all over the field. Sean McDermott is a great coach. I'm looking at a 14-win season for the Buffalo Bills. Carolina, they're going to be rolling with Sam Darnold. I do think they have a decent roster. I'm looking at about a 6 or 7 win season for the Carolina Panthers. I don't know if Sam Darnold is the answer. They gave up 3 draft picks for him, so I think they're going to just, it's an experiment for the Carolina Panthers and Sam Darnold. If it works out, awesome. If it doesn't, they didn't wreck their future for him. Now we got the Chicago Bears. Andy Dalton's your quarterback, but they still have a really good defense. I'm looking at them at being, you can't be 500 anymore because it's 17 games. But, if it's 8 or 9 wins, that's what I'm looking at about the 500 mark. So I think they're about an 8-win ball club, in my opinion. Now the Cincinnati Bengals just released new jerseys. I do think their jerseys are improved a little bit, but they added a few nice pieces. If Joe Burrow can come back healthy, I think their defense is going to be better. I think they're about a 7-win ball club, in my opinion. The Cleveland Browns, Baker Mayfield, was really good last year with Kevin Stefanski, leading him, showing him the ropes, believing in him, having confidence in Baker Mayfield. Odell Beckham Jr. will come back. Their defense is really good. Their offensive line is obviously top tier. They're a 10 to 13 win ball club. They got Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt coming out of the backfield. Absolutely fantastic. They're going to be a 10 to 13 win ball club and in the playoffs. The Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott, obviously coming off an injury, but I think they have a lot of playmakers all over. Their defense will be better. I think they're a 10 to 11 win ball club. Now the Denver Broncos, they're going to stick with Drew Lock for 1 more year, I believe. And if he doesn't, show that he can be successful and he can be that franchise quarterback, they're probably going to move on from him. But I wouldn't be totally shocked if they took a quarterback in this year's draft even. But they're a 6 to 9 win ball club, in my opinion. But I wouldn't be surprised if they were under 6 wins or they were in the 10 to 13 win area. It's all going to depend on Drew Lock and what they do at the quarterback position. The Lions are under 6 wins. They hired Dan Campbell. They had a lot of stuff to figure out. Jared Goff, he's a decent quarterback, but he's a downgrade from Matthew Stafford, and they weren't a good team last year. So what makes you think they're going to improve with Jared Goff at the position? The Green Bay Packers, they've been 13-3, 2 years in a row with Matt LaFleur at head coach. I think they win about 13 games again this year, maybe 12, maybe 11. I think they might regress just a little bit, but people also thought that last year, and they were 13-3 once again, pretty much in the same spot they were the year before. But, Green Bay, you didn't make any improvements. You re-signed a few guys and you lost a few guys. Hopefully you nail your draft. If not, you're going to, be about the same ball club. And that's a playoff team. But nothing more. Houston Texans, man, they're just a mess. I don't know if Deshaun Watson's going to play this year. And if he does, it's probably not going to be for the Texans. I don't see him suiting up for the Texans again, to be honest with you. And with that alone, you're probably going to be one of the worst teams in football. The Indianapolis Colts. Now, I'm one of the few that loved the Carson Wentz trade to the Indianapolis Colts. Frank Reich and Carson Wentz is a match made in heaven, in my opinion. He had his best, almost MVP caliber season with Frank Reich, as offense coordinator. They're a 10 to 13 win ball club. I think he's better than Phillip Rivers, and they were a really good ball club last year. The Rams, man, that division with the Cardinals, the Rams, the Seahawks, and who am I missing? And the 49ers. There's not going to be I don't think there's going to be 3 teams with 10 to 13 wins. They got Matthew Stafford over there. They got Aaron Donald now. And people are going to think I'm crazy, but I still think they're a 10 to 13 win team. Matt Stafford is an upgrade from, Jared Goff, obviously. So they're probably going to win 11, 12 games. But that's my opinion. The Minnesota Vikings, yes, I'm a little bit of a homer. I'm a Vikings fan. But we went 7-9 last year, and our defense was absolutely atrocious. I mean, we gave up 6 touchdowns to Alvin Kamara alone. Our offense was top 10 in the league. If they weren't, we would have been like a 3 or 4 win team. Our defense gets a bunch of pieces back. We get Danielle Hunter back. We'll get Anthony Barr back. Eric Kendricks missed the last 6 games of the year. Signed Patrick Peterson's got Delvin Tomlinson. Filled out our linebacking core a little bit. You know, we got Xavier Woods to go across from Harrison Smith. And we got a whole draft to go yet to get more defense players. All right? And then our whole offense comes back as well. Justin Jefferson's in year 2. They're a 10-13 win team. A lot of people are going to be surprised by what the Minnesota Vikings do this year. The New England Patriots, they could probably draft their quarterback of the future this year. But I'll believe it when I see it. Bill Belichick, I don't know if he wants to coach a rookie quarterback, but they're a 6-9 win team in my opinion. They're going to be hovering around that 500 area. The New Orleans Saints are probably going to go in with Jameis Winston as their starting quarterback, and they still have no cap room. They had a mix around a lot of money and stuff like that. They're a 6-9 win team. It's going to be weird saying that because they've been good for a long time. The New York Giants, they added some playmakers. They added Kenny Golladay, Kyle Rudolph. They added some pieces to the defense. I think they're going to be improved, but they're still a 6-9 win team. I don't think they're going to win under 6 games. They have the talent to be really competitive. The Jets, they're going to select Zach Wilson, and if they don't, I don't know what's wrong with them. But still trying to figure out their identity. Still trying to figure out, what works best with Zach Wilson. He's a little raw, but he's got all the potential in the world. He'll be under 6 wins. The Raiders still have no offensive line, but they still have Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller. Pretty damn solid defense. I don't think they're a playoff team though. They're still a 6-9 win team in my book. Now we got the Pittsburgh Steelers. People are gonna roast me for this one. I think they regress. I know Mike Tomlin is one of the best coaches in the entire National Football League, but Ben Roethlisberger, I just think he's kind of washed up, to be honest with you. And they still have no running game whatsoever. I know they could take a guy in the draft, but I don't know. No, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They get everyone back from their Super Bowl squad. I'm actually going to be making a video on why they could miss the playoffs, but until further notice, they're a 14-plus win team because they get everyone back and they got Tom Brady, and their division is going to be a cakewalk probably. You got the Falcons, the Panthers, and the Saints. So you're going up against Matt Ryan, who's okay. Jameis Winston, that defense is going to eat him alive. Then you got going up against Sam Darnold. All right, you're probably going to go 5-1. You might sweep the division. Until further notice, they're going to be a 14-plus win team, but if they regress quite a bit, I would not be surprised. The Los Angeles Chargers, 10-13 wins, guys. Justin Herbert's going to take another leap. He's one of the most talented quarterbacks in the entire National Football League. They're a damn good football team. The Seattle Seahawks, and I'm also going to get roasted for this, they're an 8 or 9 win football team. Russell Wilson cannot continue to save that football team, all right? Their offensive line is bad. Their defense is not very good anymore. Chris Carson's an okay running back. But Russell Wilson, one of these times, he's going to have a down year, and this team's going to fall apart. And there's already been some friction within the organization. They're about an 8 or 9 win football team, in my opinion. The Miami Dolphins, they belong right next to the Seattle Seahawks. It'll depend on what Tua does this year, but they're sitting in that 6-9 win area there. Now the Washington football team, this is still the old logo on here. I'm sorry. But man, this is a tough one, to to be honest with you. It's a really tough one. I think they could honestly sweep the Giants and sweep the Eagles in the division. Probably lose both to the Cowboys. They could maybe even steal one from the Cowboys. But I won't be surprised if they go 4-2 in the division. People might roast me for this, but they added some good pieces this year. I think they might be a 10-win football team. Maybe even 11 wins. They won the division last year, and they got better. All right, guys, if you agree with this list, give me a thumbs up. If not, comment below on what I did wrong. I probably did a lot. I like constructive criticism. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. God bless and have a great day.